I knew my dad loved me, even though I never heard him say it. I knew he loved me just by the way he interacted with me and the fact that he was always there for me.
Fresno Mayor Don Dyer honoring his dad, Don, who died last month at 87 years old. In an interview that you will only see tonight on Eyewitness News, the mayor tells me how his dad dedicated his life to service and inspired generations to follow in his footsteps.
I never thought my dad would die. He was that tough.
Don Dyer's story is one of sadness, sacrifice, and service. His father died when he was just 5 years old. He dropped out of high school to support himself, worked in construction and became a truck driver, and never stopped pushing for more. He went back to school, earned his diploma, and found his calling.
He decided to become a reserve police officer in Fowler, and he fell in love with it and decided to abandon his truck driving job and go to the police academy.
That decision sparked a career in law enforcement, from Fowler, where he served as the city's first school resource officer, to the Madera County Sheriff's Office, where he served as a sergeant, and eventually Fresno PD, where he joined his son Jerry and daughter Diane on the force. She became the first motorcycle officer in the history of the department, and of course he went on to become police chief.
One of the proudest moments of my life was pinning the badge on him here at Fresno. And it was a very proud moment for me.
And Don was known for something rare, bringing people together.
If he got sent on a call that had 100 people involved in the disturbance, by the time he left that call, they'd be shaking his hand and thanking him for coming. He could relate to people from all different walks of life, all backgrounds, and he could strike up a conversation with anyone. And fellow cops loved him.
Yeah, sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah, well, some days.
The mayor recalling a scary moment when he was called to an officer who was down. That officer was his dad.
I can remember being the sergeant on the SWAT team at the time when my dad got stabbed on a call in southeast Fresno and having to respond to that. It causes you to think differently about how much you care about the cops, especially family members that are working for you as police officers.
To have his son become the police chief, yeah, he must have been so proud.
You know, I said the day I pinned the badge on my dad, proudest moment of my life. And every day I wore the badge, I tried very hard to make him proud.
The mayor says his dad had a kind heart, affectionately known to many as Daddy Don, a lover of animals, and someone who showed up to many community events. But he could also be tough.
I played all three sports throughout my life: middle school, high school, basketball, football, baseball. My dad came to every game. He's my biggest fan, but he's also my biggest critic. And he would be the one, you know, we could win the game and maybe I hit the winning shot, but he'd say, yeah, but you missed a free throw.
And he lived life at full speed, sometimes on the edge. The mayor remembering a time that his dad had quadruple heart bypass surgery, got out of the hospital, and the next day was 90 feet off the ground cutting a tree limb.
The lift stopped working. So most people would get on their cell phone and call for help. But my dad, 90 feet up in the air, rappelled down the lift on a rope. And that's who he was. He not only did I think he was invincible, I think he thought he was invincible too.
But sadly, in the end, he wasn't.
I haven't really talked much about it publicly, but he was on his motorcycle, went down the street, and very low speed, and he ended up single crash, went down on the ground. And he ended up with a head injury.
Don was rushed to the hospital with broken bones, but incredibly was released, only to then fall at home.
I think some of his other medical ailments kicked in. His kidneys started failing, his heart, and then ultimately a massive heart attack. I can tell you it was the toughest day of my life. My sister and I had to make the decision to take him off life support. But I knew my dad. He would never, ever want to be bedridden, burdening other people. It's not the guy he was. So he lived a good life, a long life, fulfilled life, and I know he's in heaven today.
And his legacy, well, his legacy, it will live on in the many, many lives he touched.
He was a mentor to people that didn't have dads. And I know that he did that because he didn't have a dad, and he knew the importance of it. It's amazing how many people from Fowler sent me messages saying what a mentor my dad was to them because they didn't have a father. So that's how he's going to be remembered.
Don Dyer laid to rest today in Fowler, buried at Fowler Cemetery. My deep appreciation to the mayor for trusting us to share his dad's tribute with you. And to hear my full interview with the mayor, there was a lot of stories, a lot of family stories too. The unedited conversation. You can join us tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. for my podcast, Draft to Deadline Inside the Reporter's Notebook. You can download the KSEE24 CBS47 Plus app right now to hear that conversation. You can download it on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire Stick.